So they took down. Gone, what's going on, man?
What's up, MOT?
Can you believe all these cowards took down all their content? Every single one of these PhDs and fucking BGS, they took down all their content for the past year.
Nah, man, I'm not surprised because they gotta hide from what they gotta hide from what they said, man. They can't come.
So
They
you
can't
mean
come.
to tell me after all this stuff y'all was talking, y'all take down y'all content?
They had to take it down, man. They had, in lieu of all of what's going on, how can they justify leaving that stuff up?
BGS even took down most of his dumb nigga ask me anything and all of his fucking actual It More dailies. He took down most of them.
Well, hey, MOT, let me ask you: if that was you, wouldn't you do the same?
if if I was a black grifter online, if I sat here lying to black men about how much they were involved in politics, because here's the thing: women in my class, my graduating class of 77 people, I think we probably about 8 or 9 PhDs at this point. Just the women. We're not even talking the male doctors. These people get so much done for actual Washington County schools in general and Greenville Public Schools in specific. They get a lot done. Because remember, they went to the schools too. So they went in there with their actual credentials. They started doing studies on actual, the nutrition and the books and all that kind of other stuff. Because in our high schools, we used to get books 20 and 30 years after they are across the highway on St. Joe and like all the other schools and shit. So we used to get books 20 years after they already been on the other side of the school where far better schools are at. And
Right.
over time, when you start doing these studies and you start looking at these outcomes, right, you start to see that, hey, wait a minute. How can we have up to date test scores when we don't even have up to date equipment? Now, this stuff is perfectly funded by the actual state, right? They choose where the money goes at in the state. Right? This is why equal protection under the law needs to be something that needs to be talked about. And I think the education should be put under the actual United States military budget, education of the actual people in the country. Because I
Right.
think it is an actual um, threat to national security to have these bullshit ass PhDs come through and try to make money off of black male problems.
Absolutely.
I think it's a threat
Absolutely.
to national security.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in 100% total agreement.
And oh no, like y'all can't escape the responsibility of just putting your motherfucking content back up after this live stream is over with. Because now I'm taking this shit to your school, Dr. Thunder. I'm taking this shit straight to Ohio State. Fresno State for you, motherfucking Dr. Tierson Johnson. I'm taking this shit straight to your fucking school when you put it back up. And trust me, there are lots of ways to get the motherfucking archive content from your actual motherfucking channel without me actually needing you putting it to back the fuck up. But at the end of the day, black man, this is what they think about you. This is what they actually think about you. They took down all their fucking content because they didn't want to be held responsible for what's going on right now. They didn't want to be held responsible for it, right? That's what it is. They didn't want to be held responsible for it. So they got some things that are up, but for the most part, I want to show you what is actually up, so that way you can see that I'm not lying about this shit. Hold on a second. Let's go with uh, 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 uh. Let's go with this person right here first. Yeah, so they ran. So why ain't your content up? Why ain't your content up? Okay. This is BMI 3000. We know that. Okay. Let's go to this guy first. This guy right here, Dr. Ronald Neal. Okay. And as you can see on this channel, when you go to videos, all his videos are gone.
Damn.
Yeah. There was no information about how, how Barack Obama said this about black men, so I just voted for Trump and I just left. None of that content's up. It's gone. Gone, I tell you. And think about it.
Oh
This
my.
is what you guys came to this space to actually support. You
Yeah.
guys came to this space to support these people. And look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the Black Manosphere at this point and the Manosphere in general should be defunded. There should be not a monetized fucking channel that actually, yeah, this is black male empowerment. You're so empowered that you can't even have your content up to be have it reviewed. Well, let's just call him black male disappearance.
Mm-mm.
Because he was Mr. Black Male Independent. Oh, I'm an independent. Oh, I do all this stuff. And look at this freak around all these young ass kids in these photos, man. These are not his family members.
Oh.
It looks like we got a little
Ooh,
Epstein going on here,
man.
man.
Oh,
Always around a bunch of
man.
young ass kids when you talking about you on this
Oh,
passport journey, bro.
oh, man.
hmm But you leave all the videos up with you in the churn, right? hmm Makes
Mm.
some crazy sense. This is Dr. Ron Neal, the Mad Professor, a guy who BGS brought to this space to do what? No idea. Because they definitely didn't make things better. They didn't write no policy papers on what's going on. They can't even prove that they've done anything else but trying to market toward broken men. And let me tell you, misaligned men in society gone, they don't need no help. Look at who they turn to for actual assistance. That would tell you that they don't need no help and assistance. If you ain't smart enough to manage no damn internet connection, how on earth are you gonna be able to go out and get a skill and manage somebody else's resources? How is that going to be able to happen if you can't do that in society?
Mm.
So you come to a space that's for self improvement, and then you go after all of the bullshit artists to go listen to. Look, like I said, at this point in time, I do content audits on people. I go to their actual stuff. They show me their history. They show me their subscriptions, and I'm like, look, once you get rid of all that shit, I'm gonna give you 90 days, and if you can prove that you can stay away from that shit for 90 days, I'll I help you with whatever you need help with. But I'm gonna need 90 days to see if you can stay away from this bullshit. Because if you can't stay away from it, there's no real reason to waste my time trying to help you out. Because what I'm not trying to do is take care of these problems in society that they want to desperately have access to. Deacon Dave, thank you for the $5 super chat. So he took off down all his content. And this what these cowards do. These cowards want to market to broken men, but when it comes time to show what they actually been doing, it's all gone. It's all
Yeah,
gone. All
yeah.
gone.
And just look at what that well, you can't see what that content was now, but look at what those
Yeah.
guys were talking about. Look at what they
Yeah.
were talking about. So he's passport broing it over there
Oh yeah, of course. Around them young
in
ass kids, knowing damn well the age of consent is like 13 years old in most of them African countries, man. Some
oh,
bullshit. Some
jeez,
bullshit. Mhm.
Jesus Christopher.
All the stuff's gone. Boy, boy, boy. It's all gone. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah,
But you have to understand that most of these personnel knew that they couldn't be saved in the first beginning. They knew they couldn't be saved. But they brought their ass in here in high number, pretending like they wanted help, when the only thing they wanted to do was turn around and support entertainment. But entertainment was already here. You already had Black YouTube for that shit. You already had Black Twitter for that shit. Look at that. 5 years ago. Oh, everything gone. Everything within a year, gone. So,
Uh,
but he did leave up the actual, why Joy Reid lost her show. Joy Reid lost her show because Donald Trump put pressure on MSNBC to kick her ass off the air.
to get her out of there.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, that's
it's,
what it is. But when you're dealing with these black conservatives and so-called independents that only complain about the Democratic Party and say nothing to the Republican Party, they're okay with shit like that.
yeah, that's precisely
They
what
are
they did with.
okay with that, dude. They've been okay with stuff like that.
That's a fact.
And you have to look at the idiotic men who actually are what they're with them.
Yeah, well, a lot of these guys said they didn't pick a side, though.
Yo, yeah, 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 yeah.
Am I right about that, Emote?
Yeah, Darrell. We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later in this live stream, along with them people in North Carolina losing their wood farm, which they didn't learn shit from. So
Hmm,
not a damn thing.
hmm.
Okay, so that's him. Blackmail disappearance. Because you want to know why? When it comes time to them to actually show what they actually were doing in this actual space, they they took all their content down, right? And this is your fault, black men, that you wanted representation so bad that you didn't care about even participating in the process. So they just pretended like none of this shit happened. Okay, so let's go to the next one. There's a particular order here, but we're gonna go through. Dr. Thunder. Now, Dr. Thunder goes live every single morning bitching about black women. But according to this shit right here, the only thing on this channel is case closed. None of that shit happened every day. That Dr. Thunder would go live in the morning complain about black women even though he's fucking married. None of that shit happened. It's all in
Damn.
your fucking head. It's all in your head. Look at there. 1 year
Uh,
ago, he took it down all the content between the year. Took it all down. But he did leave up when he was up here with this fucking black Ku Klux Klan member.
from 2 years
Took
ago.
it all down. So apparently, Dr. Thunder doesn't go live every single morning talking about black women and relationships.
In lieu of all of what's going down and who they supported
Yes.
last year,
Hmm.
none of that is up.
Yes. In the middle, lives in a suburb in Columbus, teaches at Ohio State, but you in the fucking middle. How are you in the fucking middle? How are you in the middle when you teach music at fucking college? That screams nothing but liberal. There's nobody who think you're fucking conservative. Inquisitive Prince, thanks for the $2 super chat. Yeah, but that's Dr. Thunder. Because apparently Dr. Thunder didn't go live talking about black women at all, right? Didn't happen. Apparently
Didn't
the last
happen.
time Dr. Thunder went live was 23 hours ago, just doing music. There was no content about black women at all, according to all this shit. No content.
Scru- Scrubbing their
Yeah, yeah.
scrubbing their content.
Uh huh. Uh
Yeah,
huh.
yeah.
At least you got one ton here. One ton. Hairhead Johnson right here. He is, yeah, tirelessly advocating for black men and boys.
3.
Ah,
What
ah,
what do we
ah.
hear about? What do we hear about that today? Oh my God! Wow!
Oh man, they
Wow!
tired. They are tired. I'm tired of coming out here and coming after these black men and boys. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. Son Johnson, what party you a part of? Or third party? Bruh, you third party
Third
in
party.
California?
Third
California is
party.
not a parliamentary system. Do
Third
you
party.
understand that if you are third party, No one is going to talk to you in California. California is a liberal state, probably the most liberal state in the union. If you come up there with this liberal plan that you have, and you're not part of the liberal party, and you start talking this blackmail only bullshit, dude, they're gonna kick you outside the fucking door. You're 13% of the population. You can't even prove you can have people up here. You teach at Fresno State that has a political science department, but you're this politically fucking ignorant on purpose to have a fucking audience. Fuck out of here. No one would ever even believe any of that shit, right?
Unreal.
That's that one.
Unreal.
Let's go to the next one. 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 But you have to understand that I'm going to newspapers after this. I'm going to online sites after this. Like, you motherfuckers ain't about to get away with this shit. Believe me, they're gonna be asking your ass some motherfucking questions coming soon. All right. So let's go to this half ton guy here. The hair hat. Yeah, let's go with the hair hat. Dr. Tia Sanjas. Okay, let's talk about him. Okay, so he came through when he first came here. He came through on this Ice Cube grift. I think like a year right out there. I think 4 years to the day after Ice Cube did it. So what Ice Cube did is he formed this contract with Black America. I don't know how Ice Cube even thought that he can formulate or argue politics for Black America, but he came out with this plan, with this policy proposal. Most of these things in this contract with Black America policy proposal shit was shit that's already been done. He didn't know that's been done in other places. He never even tried checking with nobody locally. So he just created this plan and just ran into offices and just took photo ops with people and that type of shit. No other race of people have their entertainers try to go out and do policy proposals for them. You don't see Jews doing that shit. You don't see Latinos doing that shit. You don't see Native Americans doing that shit. You definitely don't see whites doing that shit. Whites don't have their bullshit ass PhDs out front. Okay,
Hmm.
dude, most white people don't even respect Jordan Peterson because they know the type of bullshit that he's on. Because Jordan Peterson is there to give misaligned men in society bullshit fucking advice to keep them fucking lost. He's not trying to help them dudes do anything with their life. And these people, the black version of Jordan Peterson, which is what I'm covering here right now, these are the black version of Jordan Peterson. They are here to make money off of broken and lost men. Period. They're not trying to fix anything. They're not trying to address anything. The only thing that they're trying to do is keep these problems in place. And these people went to school. They know how to do research. They graduated with graduating classes of other people who actually also know how to do research. There's no real reason for you to come to broken men to try to give them some type of representation that you know ain't gonna lead to anywhere. Okay?
Hmm.
So what he did is he went out and created the Onyx report because, and he invited a whole bunch of dumbass black men who don't know shit about politics. And he started giving them a policy proposal of the black male agenda. Like, you can't create no fucking black male agenda. And anytime somebody tries to goad you into talking about a black people or a black male agenda, the reason why they're doing that is they're telling you how not to be taken seriously by the political process and system. Barack Obama went through those interviews all the time with the mainstream media when he first got elected. Oh, what he gonna do for black people? Oh, black people's name ain't on anything. And it's like, you do know that black people only make up 13% of the population. Oh no, he's next. He's next. So what you have to understand is once you start talking about this black male only or black people only agenda, you're not serious about politics. You're just not serious about it. Period. Even if your ass is in Atlanta or Detroit, Kansas City, or Baltimore, you still cannot call something the black people only plan and it get passed through some type of legislature. There's no real reason, no real reason for that stuff to be going on.
None at all.
Yeah, Ronan, BMI 3000 was Ron Neal's channel. I mean, he scrubbed all this shit too. Well, they all did because it's quite embarrassing to be associated with an actual space where no one can see your actual track record, right? Oh, what's going on, Shonda? This is beyond crazy. Fredson was just short 3 hours from Sacramento. Yet no meeting with Governor Gavin Newsom, and he's talking about masculinity and the threat against young men. You can't make this stuff up. Because, see, here's the thing. You can talk about that shit when you got policy proposals. But you cannot talk about this shit. What's going on, Stanley Cross? What's going on, man? Navy vet, older brother. You'll like him, Nicole. You'll like him. I'm going to bring him on for an interview. And so what you got to understand is when the congressperson from South Carolina brought up proposing to do studies about black boys, which none of these people in the space covered because they're not trying to get you interested in politics. What they're trying to get you interested in is making it look like supporting and super chatting them is the same as being interested in politics. And look, I can't help lost men with anything. If you don't understand and know how things work and go, I am not going to continuously keep bringing your ass up to speed. At some point, it is your responsibility to learn how systems work. Your first foray into politics is what, Nagone? The place where you decide to fucking live.
Yeah,
That's your
that's,
first
ex-
foray into politics.
that's exactly it. Remember, all politics is local. People that's a very famous term
And most
in the
politics
political
grow
realm.
out of financial issues.
And they certainly do. And those financial issues that you deal with are dealing exactly with where you are, your hometown, your city, in your household, all that. It's right there. It's right. It's right there.
Right? You're right. Black women this, black women that. Don't forget to hit the Cash App. That's exactly what it is, man.
Hit the cash app. Where the cash app? Yeah,
If you
man.
don't give me 9 Cash App, I'm going to shut the show down. No, this is shit we had to go through, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
Yes.
do not actually give people the history of the actual Black Manosphere. If they're too fucking stupid to look up the fact that there was a Manosphere here before the so-called Big Three, there's no need in educating them on shit. Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, the Black Manosphere did not start with O'Shea, Angry Man, and Obsidian. There was
No.
plenty of Manosphere here before that.
Yeah.
I understand that they want to heavily leverage the life and death of Kevin Samuels. And when most people think of the Black Manosphere, they think of Kevin Samuels, and it's like there's no real need to fucking educate people because they don't want to actually take responsibility for the actual not knowing that there was shit here and that you didn't need an unemployed fragrance seller to actually dust off reptiles for you to actually try to date that you knew that you shouldn't be messing with in the first place, and that they knew that they shouldn't be in them circumstances, and that they also knew that they shouldn't be online, making themselves look crazy, embarrassing the shit out of everybody that they ever known, the men that they actually had kids with, the community to which they come from. There was really no real reason to do that.
Oh man.
Yeah. So again, let's go through this, and I'm going to show you because you got all these members, but you ain't got no content, bro. So that.
No content. You know, he talked about it that it's this 18-point agenda or whatever. A lot of stuff that was done in that agenda, that was supposed to be dealing for black men. We saw the Congressional Black Caucus and all them bring up some of this stuff already. But he came out with his so-called 18-point agenda. Okay, where is that being done? Where do we see that actually, being um, any legislation, any of this stuff being done in any one of these state houses, any of these red states and so forth that these people supposedly have been supporting? Since a lot of these guys have been tacitly supporting the Republicans in the Trump administration. Okay, fair enough. Where is this stuff happening? Where is this going on? You ask people these questions, they can't tell you. So, where is all this going on? I mean, I would like to see where this is. I do know there was a candidate who was running for president who was a Democrat who had an agenda for black men. Actually, came out and spoke on it, but no one wanted to talk about that. But
And
yet,
gone. I don't
these
think he scrubbed everything. I don't think TSI scrubbed everything.
let's
Came
see,
close. Okay.
you know,
He didn't
well,
scrub everything. He came close, but he didn't scrub everything. So let's see what's going on here. Unfair use, unfair use. Everything that you say can and will be used against you in the court of public opinion. You have a right to facts. If you do not have any facts, they will be laid upon you actually speaking. So let's say, do Kamala Harris and the Boule gynocracy? Okay, so before I play this, whenever a black man or any person talk about the Boule or the gynocracy, you're being played for a fucking fool. One, groups have standards. People talk about the Boule because the Boule don't allow dumb niggas to just join their fucking group. That's the issue. They want it to be dumb nigga friendly no matter where you go. And they want every group to be non-functional. So when you invite all these dysfunctional men in there to actually do whatever, because they never adhere to whatever mission that they actually join. They never adhere to it. They get a bunch of these dumbasses in there, and then all of a sudden they want to turn a place for self improvement into a place for entertainment. And guess what? People with money don't allow you to just come join their group. So when they're trying to head pat you and try to tell you about, oh well, they just boule, and man, look at that man, they they doing good and they won't even invite us in. They shouldn't invite you in. People who care about their group, they have standards. They don't allow people with nothing to just join their group. They don't.
no, no, nope. You just ain't rolling up in there.
Yeah, so let's see what some of this bullshit is. Like, look, there is no black boule gynocracy. This is just women that you can't fucking be with, and you can't impregnate, and you can't destroy their lives. Okay? There's no gynocracy. They're just weak men who won't access the women that they're not trying to produce for. The gynocracy is weak ass men. That's what it is. Weak ass men who want to be controlled by strong women. That's what they want.
Damn, boy,
They
that's
want to be
so,
controlled by these fucking women. But guess what? Useless nigga DNA is not needed right now. I'm not sure if it was ever needed, but it definitely ain't needed right now. They're just gonna actually choose somebody else to be with and not you. So they're trying to create this artificial need for dumbass motherfuckers in society who can't produce. And because they can't have the actual women that they want, they actually want to harm the actual self esteem of the actual women. But let's hear some of this stupid shit.
This is a piece on Forbes.com, right? This is dated, this is updated last April.
Okay, let's talk about this article before we get started. You know, women get scholarships for all types of shit, right?
correct.
Women don't go to school for hard science based things. Let's just be honest. They just don't. Okay? You're supposed to be, as a man, you're supposed to be able to outproduce women because you're supposed to have more initiative than women. For a guy who teaches at a university, a non science based um, educational thing, trying to get the same scholarship chances as women is fucking dumb. They're not going to get rid of all the scholarships for women and then just give them to dumb niggas. You know who he actually markets towards. Because he don't market toward men. He markets towards dumb niggas. You know he don't market toward actual men that can be doing shit. He markets towards broken men that don't have any father figures in their life, who don't have any direction, who's looking for a reason to blame somebody else for their actual outcomes. That's his actual marketing base.
Mm,
Because you
mm,
don't have a person in your community walking around talking about the fucking gynocracy. That's some online shit. I ain't
mm.
never heard, dude. I've never heard even the outside the liquor store niggas talking about no fucking gynocracy. I've never heard that shit before. Now, giving weak men the excuse for not producing and having bad outcomes, that's not a that's not the gynocracy. That's just weak ass men who chose to not produce in society and want to be actually celebrated for just being swinging dick adult male men, right? They have no direction. They want everybody to like put them on and give them on the job training and all types of stupid shit that people who care about their actual organization ain't gonna do. Okay, so when you outsource your actual complaints about society to an actual online grifter like this guy right here, who is not providing you anything.
I thought it was interesting, and it made me think. It brought me to the main subject of tonight's show. Let me see what I. Eh. Well, all right. Let me see. I'm going to read it to you anyway. All right. So where'd it go? All right. So the title of the article on Forbes.com, dated April 14th, 2022, a couple years old. Women's scholarships and awards eliminated to be fair to men. Right. This made me. This website made me remove my ad blocker. So getting all kinds of crap on the screen I don't want. I apologize to you for that, but I will read nonetheless. Women's scholarships, leadership programs, awards, and even gym hours are being eliminated or canceled by universities because they discriminate against men. Complaints are being filed with the Department of Education about programs and funding for women at universities across the country, and the DOE is taking action. One of the latest targets is the Marilyn C. Davis Scholarship at the University of California, Santa Cruz. To be eligible for the Davis Scholarship, an applicant must be a mother returning to receive education in the sciences at UCSC. Ursat Pegos, I know I butchered that, so I ain't even gonna try. I apologize.
Okay, before we
Is an
go
ex
forward,
USC student now.
before we go forward, what he is describing, which he didn't know at the time that he was making this live stream, this was the precursor of the DEI discussion. They
Yeah,
got in, they removed the women based scholarships, and then they start removing things based off of race. As soon as they got that shit based off of gender, they start doing it based off of race.
that's right.
And that's how this whole DEI shit blew up across the country. Was the simple fact that they used gender as a reason to go in to start removing things. And then they started doing shit based off of race. Nobody cared about gender after that. Remember how people was talking about how white women got everything through Title IX and all that shit? Guess what the DEI argument was centered around? Black people exclusively, not being places, not white women. So you literally got more out of the system, the current way that it was, than once they start taking stuff away.
That's right.
Because conservatives, they have a long term gain. But I understand this is a short term grift being ran on these dudes making it look like that. Oh, well, it's a good idea that they're removing shit from women. I'm like, dude, women was never the fucking target. Never the target. Because women ain't a threat to anybody's power source around here. They go now. I'm not talking about the women that be nurses and all that shit. That's a very minority group of actual women. Hey, Larry, it doesn't fucking matter. They fucking had this dude around. They built their audience off this fucking crackpot. They're gonna take fucking responsibility for him. They all took down their fucking content. I am here to take shit away from the PhDs. That's exactly what the fuck this live stream is about, and nothing short of that. These people wanted Donald Trump to be president. All this shit's happening. I don't hear none of these PhD grifters talking about what's happening. Rising black male unemployment rate. Well, rising black people unemployment rate. These lunatics actually celebrated 300,000 black women losing their jobs. Now I understand that
Sure,
black women have black boy kids and
sure
fucking
did.
married to black men. These dudes did that shit. They
And
did
they
that.
thought that was a flex. Like you were gonna,
Yes.
like you were benefiting off of this. I mean, it's
But
just
see, this is where his mind was at by removing the actual, because that lawsuit did go through and that lawsuit was completed. And once that lawsuit was over with, they started removing black people from everywhere, not women.
it's precisely correct.
Oh, what's going on, Renaissance man? What's going on, man?
Yeah, yeah. What's up?
RM, what's going on?
Nah, nothing. I had a quick phone call. I had to jump on.
Yeah,
All right.
but it's just that. Okay, so his short-sightedness of looking at this article, this shit turned up into black people being removed in most places in society, to include Joy Reid losing her show on actual TV. Actually, most people that
Yeah.
Trump wanted off of TV got removed from TV.
Oh yeah. Part of that happened like post Obama. You saw that first
Yeah.
wave where
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
what's her name? Shoot, the
Uh,
woman who
uh,
was on MSNBC.
uh, 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 um,
Melissa Harris Perry.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
MHP.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
She
Yep.
got removed.
Yep.
Joy lost her shows. I think
Yes.
Sharpton lost his show, didn't he?
No.
Yes.
They took Sharp and then they moved him to the graveyard shift on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
Sunday night at 6 o'clock, which nobody watches. He still may be
Yeah.
on that spot right now. I have no idea.
Yeah. He was coming on every night, I think.
No, he was coming on, and then they cut him back to Sunday at 6
Yeah, and then you got
once a week.
Don Lemon as well. They got him up out of there.
Yep.
Then they when they got rid of Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, I think was another one. She was on there.
Yeah. Tiffany Cross.
He was on there.
Yep.
I think Jonathan Capehart, he
Yep.
was on there. He
Yep.
got on the news hour though. But nah, then when they got rid of Joy Reid, they moved Simone, Michael Steele, and someone else on the weekend. They moved them, I think, to like what, once a week, twice a week, something like that. Maybe every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. They call them the Negro Whisperers. That's what they were calling them at the time. Yeah, they took them all out. We've seen this before, but what MOT and I were talking about this before, but MOT just brought it up again, which is a brilliant point. They came in here and they talked about knocking black women out, but that was how they came to knock your ass out of the box, Tony.
Very short-sighted.
And the PhDs, these guys pushed this and didn't understand what was coming down the pike, didn't understand
Celebrated when it happened.
Yeah. I mean, really terrible. Really, really terrible.
I mean, the sad part of that is too. Most other groups, if you came and attacked their women like that, they would see that as an attack on them.
Of course, they're going to see it as an attack on them. Of course, they are, because it is. Anybody says, "Oh, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 black women shut down," man, this is a flex. Anybody
Man,
who
these people were celebrating, man.
You're crazy. You're out of your mind, not looking at what's really going on. You're out of your mind, and this is what you're your PhDs were also grafted onto? I mean, you really have to look at this. Seriously.
Yeah, but they took all their content down to pretend like they wasn't doing any
yeah.
content throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
Or Renaissance Man did. They took all their content down. All of them. They took all of even BGS took down all of his dumb nigga ask me anything, but he left up like the last pedestrian live stream,
Yeah,
not realizing like his actual people didn't realize that actual he was making fun of his own people for fucking being stupid. Like once you start calling people pedestrians, like he's attached to the people that he hates. He can't level up past dumb niggas. He needs these people. He cannot move past those dumbass individuals who don't know how to do shit in society. He can't move past them. So he needs them. He really doesn't like being around them nor interacting with them. He hates interacting with them. But he knows these are the only individuals that he can actually attract. And this is the only
yeah,
people that they can actually be around. It's kind of crazy. Go ahead, man.
yeah. No, I posted the link. I don't know if you shared this earlier. You're seeing this all on the right. I think I sent this to you all the other day, though.
You did.
That a lot of what you're seeing is a lot of these people on the right, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, they're all like, they're seeing this divide within MAGA where you got this guy, Nick Fuentes, and basically it's, you're really seeing an America first and a MAGA divide. You see a Marjorie Taylor Greene, like all these people are trying to get off this Trump train.
She apologized today for her toxic political activities. She apologized. At Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it's like this is how you know the media is fucking conservative. Can you imagine if anybody else on the left was acting like that and tried to come out and try to bullshit themselves like they a changed person? Bro, it would never go on. It would never happen.
I don't know. The rumblings are it's either she wants to run for higher office. She claims she's not running for Senate or
Man,
governor
look,
in Georgia.
not gonna happen.
But then some people say she wants to run for president.
Unreal.
Not going to happen.
But what I
No, she's not going to keep that same. I guarantee you do not see her try to run for the same office with this shift in rhetoric. Like that's how you know that that's how you know there's some ambition behind this.
But what I also say, the underlying point that no one is talking about, and I didn't see any of these people speak about it, were last week or last 2 weeks, we saw these emails come out from the younger
Epstein.
Republicans. No, but listen, I'm talking about Epstein yet, because that's a whole MOT. We ain't gonna get into that yet.
Yeah.
But all the emails come from the young Republicans speaking about black folks in the party,
talking crazy,
and how they didn't want them around, and spoke very, very, very in some tremendously racist, degrading terms of black folks. You're black conservatives as well in the party, and spoke on how they felt about it. Some of these people had to step down and run and hide from those texts. I don't see any one of these people here speaking about that as well.
Dude, I don't see no ABL, no Brandon Tatum, none of these sports coons even talking about it. I don't see any of them. I don't see any of them talking about it.
Or your I haven't picked a side type folks.
Oh man, I live in a liberal area, but I haven't picked a side, and I'm in the middle, but I only attack the Democratic Party. Yeah, okay. Right. Unbelievable. But that's the position of where we at, though. Like, how do you be able to get out of this situation when your whole online identity was being with and around these people?
Yeah. And you see why a lot of them are taking down their content and everything else like that. I mean, look at the positions that they've taken. We've seen now the positions that these people have taken against you. How do you justify that?
How do you justify taking down the content Because remember, all of these PhDs either voted for Trump or wanted Trump to be president. Now, I'm gonna okay. So like the next one is the G with a PhD. Again, I don't like street people. They're just another means for wearing not black Nazi uniforms, and I don't care about none of these rap retards. I can't rationalize even being around these people or them having any type of voice in society, but not beyond them signing that bad contract and putting out bad music, and didn't really care about the outcome of it. I mean, it was no different than selling drugs to me. But these people wanted to support a person with the street image because a lot of broken men think that they can level up very quick by pretending like they're some type of street dude. They end up getting locked up in jail or end up with charges that they don't need to and hanging out with people that they don't need to hang out with just because they have no identity. I can't stand street people. He was a smart guy. He didn't need to present himself like that. But at the end of the day, that's just where that's at. So his channel has been gone for a long time, but possibly, I have to,
Wait,
you
who is
know,
this?
Green Gorilla.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, his channel's gone. It's been gone for a while. He's been gone for like what, a year, maybe even 2 years at this point. But he did come back and do that live stream with Tia San about will black men and black women ever get along, on that grifting fucking culture warrior bullshit, and it goes nowhere. Trust me. When actual people want you to fight the opposite gender of the same race that you're actually in, they're not serious about progress nor change. And no serious person is going to have these personnel on to try to get them to solve any problem because they solve their problems with broken men, right? So let's pull up this thing that Renaissance posted. So let's see this change of heart from these actual individuals who I have never trusted ever. But here, share screen, share screen. Y'all can be able to see. Let's see what this person has to say.
This is going to be a little longer video, but I made a decision today that I am done. I changed my name from the Black MAGA Preacher to Reverend Jordan Wells, which is what I am, a reverend, and my name is Jordan Wells. I had to, because as a Christian, that is what led me into politics. I was a pastor. I was not thinking about politics and had no interest in it at all. And it's my faith that led me into politics. And I'm still in politics. I have to fight for this country.
Okay, let's stop right here.
Wait.
You didn't think about politics, but you called yourself Black MAGA
Wait.
fucking pastor?
Wait,
What
you were
the
a
fuck?
Christian, but you
You are, man, bro. What is going on here? I was never thinking about politics, and I'm changing my name. I'm changing my name from Black MAGA Pastor to my name. But I was never thinking
the,
about politics.
wait, doesn't the Bible say like you shouldn't keep idols?
Yeah,
Like,
graven images, all that. Oh man.
so you change your name to the Black MAGA Preacher.
But
Black
he was
MAGA,
not political.
and he was not political. these
Ah.
unconscionable shines, they
This
have been
is.
they've
Wait a
been
minute.
amazing.
Go.
It's amazing
Wait a
listening to
minute.
these people. Go ahead.
It's morning. This is a solar shine. This is a solar shine. It is morning. This is a solar
Solar shine.
shine. That, doing
Oh,
it right
this
in the
is-
daytime.
This
It
is a
could be an
solar,
omni shine, but for right now,
or a solar eclipse shine. I don't know, man.
yeah. Oh man,
This is an unreal shine. This is an
I was never thinking
unreal
about
shine.
politics. I got to fight for my country. So you just picked the name right off the hat and just call yourself Black MAGA preacher. What on earth? Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Unreal.
Let's see what Soul Shine has to say.
Patrick Bonhoeffer did, even though Tucker attacked him. To the very last inch of this country, I will fight for conservatism. But the new right in our that is trying to take over the Republican Party, the MAGA movement, the America First movement, I can't get with. As a black African American man, it's apparent that I'm not welcome in that stream. Now, most Republicans aren't like this, right? I have a lot.
The fuck they ain't. Dude, this has been the party. This
This
has
is the
been the party
party.
that you've been a part of.
This
No,
is the party.
they're just
Go
saying
ahead.
the
What
quiet part
on
out loud
earth?
now.
They're
Yeah,
saying the
it's just
quiet
like
part out loud. That's all they're doing.
they're like, okay, talking to Nick Fuentes was a step too far. Who you think else listened to Tucker Carlson?
Unreal.
What? And it's like, okay, somebody just teleported him into the Republican Party. He didn't realize that, I'm not political, but I call myself a black MAGA pastor. But just, the current Republican Party is just a step too far. Now, whoa, 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 whoa. What's up with the victimhood, bruh? I thought these were your people,
Unreal.
man.
Wait,
Unreal.
it just happens to be a step too far when we know this
Right
vote on
now.
the Epstein list is coming out next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they're talking about a bunch of Republicans are probably going to vote to
Of course they
discharge.
are. Of course they are.
Of course.
Of
Of
course they are.
course.
Because look, once this Epstein thing come out, it's over with. What's going on, Ike? But
All right.
these people just have to realize that, dude. Like, look, like I told Nagone, like I told the group, there's no such thing as a Christian conservative. There is no such thing as a Christian capitalist. Nothing. You're just a opportunist. That's what you are, an opportunist. In my eyes, an opportunist, but let's just be PC, just call you an opportunist. There's no way that you don't know American history. There's no way that you don't know that the conservative movement don't don't care about your black ass. There's no way that you don't know that.
And how long have I been saying? I said this. There is no black conservative. The true black conservative is something far different than what these people are talking about. Something far different. You
I
know.
mean, but like being the only guy around where they make this racist jokes and they don't really fuck with you like that, but you kind of tolerate their presence because you're getting paid and, dude, that's not black conservatism, bro. That's not. I mean, you may have accepted it as black conservatism, but that's not the case, man.
It's not black conservatism at all.
So let's keep going.
A lot of support, but their voices are getting louder and louder. The Nick Fuenteses, these are racist. I am black. I can't support. You have the guy who's over the Remisuan polls. He was commenting on a post, and it said he's a white. He said he's an American supremacist. He leads the conservatives with polls. How can that is not attractive to African Americans or minorities? An American supremacist? No. I'm out. I'm out of that. I am going to continue to vote conservative, continue to fight for Republicans, continue to fight for conservative principles. But we have Tucker Carlson attack.
Okay, so where the fuck are you going? Okay, all right. So let's get this straight. You're out, but you're going to keep fighting for and voting for Republicans and conservatives. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? What's the Renaissance? Explain it to me. Where is he going?
he's going. He's going shit over the cliff. That's where he's going, man.
Where is
That's
he
where he's going.
going? It's like okay. I don't want to deal with the plane. I don't want to deal with the peanuts. I'm just gonna jump out of the plane with no parachute. Where are you going? You're going straight into the ground. Like, bro,
Like a pilot flying that plane straight into the side of a mountain. That
just like just like the PhD plane about to hit that ocean that is the actual thumbnail for this video that I'm currently doing right now. Where you think you're going? You said you're out, which means you're going somewhere else. Where is somewhere else if you're still going to keep voting Republican and supporting conservatives? The same conservatives that are okay with the Nick Fuentes.
Okay with the Nick Fuentes. Said white people should be racist towards you. Okay. All of your voting rights, your civil rights, and all of these things should be removed from you. In this society and culture, that has been a, where its institutions and so forth have been an enemy on you. And you've had to fight to get these rights, and they want them to be taken away. They think because they think you're not prepared to fight anymore. This is who these people are siding with, and thinking that this is within their best interest to side with. Madness, absolute madness.
But Nagone, he's leaving. He's leaving. I'm out. I'm out, dude.
But I'm out though. Okay.
But I still vote Republican. Dude, you just say we need our weed.
I don't wear it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. But we still need it anyway,
All right, no problem, Rat, man. No problem, Rat, man. It's cool, man. Don't worry about it, Rat. We cool.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see what's up with the rest of this guy's statement.
And Christians, we have apparently to the woke right Christian conservatives. They're Catholic and they get to believe whatever they want to believe, but we can't support Israel, even though there have been Christians supporting Israel in America for hundreds of years. But we aren't allowed to support Israel, right? I don't agree with Catholicism. I don't agree with a lot of things in a lot of these churches that they go to or they say they are part of. But I would never attack people's beliefs as far as on X and things like that in politics.
But your party does. Your party does. Your party routinely talks shit about Muslims. And whenever they talk about Nani, you know what they talk about first? Muslim. Not policies, not love thy neighbor, nothing. Muslim. That's what that is. All right? Crazy.
Whew.
No, that's
All right, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no. That's where these people miss. This is where it's not just him. People like Ben Shapiro, Tedeschi D'Souza, Vivek Ramaswamy, all these people who basically kind of fan these flames of racism. They're all getting their wake up call.
Oh yeah, I mean, you hit it right. You hit it right in the head there, RM. They cultivated this themselves.
Yes.
Yeah,
all by themselves.
They're getting, because basically what you have going on now is basically, and this is kind of the debate, is that hey, all non-whites are basically out if you're talking about this America First movement.
Yes, that's exactly correct.
And then there's a debate of hey, whether a certain group is considered white or not either.
Correct.
Yeah.
And here's what I think. What actually happened here. I think he got his fucking walking papers not to come his black ass back around. There is no principal move for him to leave. I think they told him like, hey man, this is your last time coming around here. Thanks, but we don't need your help anymore.
Yeah.
Your services in the white community are no longer needed.
Are no longer needed. We don't need you. We don't need you. We got your vote. Oh. We got your vote when we needed it. Now go. That's right, Rat. There you go. Persona non grata. The persona non grata. That's exactly what that is.
Dude, I could guarantee you they told this dude, like, hey, man, conservative pink slip, man. Like, yeah, man, we were going to wait, but why wait? It's Friday afternoon, man. We were going to wait till Monday and call you in, but, it's kind of Friday afternoon, and we kind of don't need you to come back.
Yeah. In fact, take your papers, man. You finish up in here. we gave you papers,
man. Yeah. Tell the people you roll with whatever you want.
That's a fact.
And they're gone. Oh, you a pastor now?
Is that right? Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. You was MAGA last, black MAGA last week. Oh, you a pastor now?
Oh, you
Okay.
were passing. Is that right? Okay.
All right. Let's see what
Oh,
else this dude got to say here in these rests in a minute.
They attack Indians. They're mad about the HB1, and some of them are mad because of jobs, but some of them are mad because they don't like immigrants. That's just the reality of the situation. And I can't get with that. As a Christian, I'm not American only. American only. I love our country. I really do. I'm a patriot, but I believe Jesus sent us on a mission to disciple all nations, not just America. And I love all nations. I love Africa. I love Israel. I love other countries. I can't support that. I don't believe that if that woke right takes over, which I don't believe they will, because I'm going to fight against it, and other people are fighting against it. And most of the politicians on the Republican side don't agree with it. I believe it's the death of the. I believe the Republicans will never win another election. It doesn't have mass appeal. Most Americans don't believe in that type of white supremacy, racist stuff. They just don't.
What?
Bro.
unfucking real.
Well
Unreal.
said. Well said. Like this dude just time
Unfucking
traveled from
real.
like the year 3000 back to like the year 2025.
Did this
Like
dude
this
just
dude
start reading
has
the Bible though? Like these people have
like
been not liking Indians
they
and not
been not
liking
liking
immigrants.
you.
This, I mean, this is the state of these shines. This is the
God,
state of them. I mean, this guy is quintessential of that.
I'm lost, bro. It's like the party that you're a part of. It's always been this party, and you can't claim that you didn't see this shit during the Tea Party era after Obama got elected. You can't claim that. This
Yeah.
Yep.
stuff bubbled up huge after Obama got elected, man.
No, it was before that. Like, here's the,
This
Way
was a Tea
before that.
Party.
no. It was even before that. Like
This was yeah.
one night, I'll find a clip. One night we'll go play a Stuart Stevens clip, old Republican, because he just basically says, "Hey, pretty much since Nixon, this is what the Republican Party has been.
Yes,
This element of racism."
Very much so, and they pushed it really hard with Newt Gingrich and all, and with the Contract with
yes,
America, if you remember all that stuff.
yeah.
So so these guys have been pushing that, Jerry Falwell, and these guys with their with their Christian right all back then. This has been going on a long time. There's nothing new about this. There's nothing new about this. It just got crystallized after Obama. This really boiled down to that hardcore, that hardcore base, and and Trump co-opted it, and so it's gone through its iterations, but it's been here. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Ever since Lee Atwater and the Southern Strategy, this thing has been moving this way in a fast way. Ever since
I mean, but think
Atwater and
about
them.
how ignorant you have to be part of a party and not understand or know the history. To call yourself Black MAGA pastor and then be shocked and surprised when these supremacists run your ass out the party
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
don't understand the history of the party. He just now understands what group of people he was a part of since the Nick Fuentes interview. So you mean to tell me that if Tucker Carlson never interviewed Nick Fuentes, that he would still be Black MAGA pastor? I don't believe that, man. I just don't believe that. And I'm just saying, dude, that I don't think there's any Christian that I can ever take seriously who would even attach themselves to this conservative shit. There's no way that I'm hearing that shit.
Go ahead, MOD.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the end of that guy's statement.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna go to this Bloomberg article here. Hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, is that the clip or?
No, the Bloomberg piece that we posted in the chat. I think you reposted it, right? From Mike this morning. The one about the sawmill in North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh,
How
yeah.
they
That one's.
were had
Yeah,
to
you
shut
could play
down.
it for like. Yeah, you could play it for like. It's about 20 minutes long, but I think it's worth playing if
Correct.
you can.
Could you put that in the back chat so I can pull it
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, before we play this clip, you're going to hear some very key things about these individuals here. They are being hurt by the president that they actually voted for. They are being financially hurt by the president that they voted for. They have been hurt by his policies. But at the end of the day, these personnel have a very strict thing that they're going to do during the next election. And I'm gonna pause it whenever we hear it. So hold on a second. Hold on a second. It's only playing words. It's not even showing the video. Hold on a second. Refresh it and try it again. Hold on. Did they take the video down?
No, it's still there.
Oh no. No, it's Bloomberg audio. I thought I'd watch a video of it this morning. Hold on a second. All right, let me put this up here. About 20 minutes long. It's gonna be the last thing we're gonna play here. This is the actual video. Put this in the chat. Fair use is from Bloomberg podcast. It's an audio podcast that talks about. Hold on a second. Put this here. It sure does create confusion, Dollar Wheel. Because let me tell you, the enemy of most of these blacks throughout the entire history has been white conservatives. And that ain't something that's hyperbolic. That is factual information. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Okay.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Watch the step right there. All this lumber is lumber that got out.
When you walk into the J.W. Jones Lumber Company, one of the first things you'll probably notice is how noisy it is.
You go in, you put in earplugs, this place is loud, right? And there's a kind of real cacophony.
J.W. Jones is a sawmill in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. From stripping off the bark and sawing to trimming, sorting, and drying the wood in kilns, every day the mill turns dozens of logs into processed lumber boards, the kind used in the visible wood in a house, like your baseboards or stair treads. Bloomberg Economics reporter Sean Donnan took a trip to North Carolina, to the Old North State, with our producer Rachel Lewis-Krisky to meet the Joneses, the family that runs the business.
It's a mill that has been there and in this family since the 1930s. The J.W. Jones Lumber Company focuses really on southern pine.
The Jones family has been in the lumber business since 1882. Today, brothers Wilson and Stephen co-own two lumber mills. Stephen runs J.W. Jones, and Wilson runs Mackey's Ferry Sawmill. And while the J.W. mill was as loud as ever, Mackey's Ferry sounded very different.
I've grown all my life in the lumber business, and to hear nature at a sawmill, I think for any lumberman is not natural. I don't want to be overly dramatic, but in a way, it's as unnerving as watching a loved one take their final breath.
On July 1st, the brothers decided to close down Mackey's Ferry. The tipping factor? President Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs.
When I say Liberation Day, I cannot put enough snark and sarcasm in my voice because we weren't liberated.
Wilson said they've mothballed it, meaning they're maintaining the mill for potential use or maybe to sell it. But altogether, its production has shut down, and the 50 people who worked at that mill were laid off.
Liberation Day it did. At the time, it had damn near liberated me from our business, and in essence, it has. I'm bitter about that.
After Trump announced sweeping tariffs on April 2nd, several countries responded with retaliatory tariffs, including China. And that hit Mackey's Ferry hard. Until recently, 70 to 80% of the wood coming from the Mackey's Ferry sawmill was going to China and Vietnam, a primary market for U.S. hardwood, while most of what comes out of the brothers' other mill, softwood, ends up in the United States. After calculating the staggering cost of exporting lumber, the Jones brothers decided it was time to stop production at Mackey's. About a third of their overall business revenue disappeared.
This is not just a story about a sawmill in North Carolina and a little crossroads of a place.
Very.
A third
of his revenue out the window. Gone.
Unbelievable.
50 employees laid off.
MOT, you're a business owner. If 30% of your revenue disappears and you're scaled to that, do you know how much cutting you have to do?
I told you, like, I went to that shit one time. Buckley Air Force Base, place I was stationed on. The guy was going to go pick up some shit from the Naval Reserve part of the area. And that dude went in the actual refrigerator and started stealing ribs and lobster and all types of shit. And I lost the contract. And that was a $2 million contract that I fucking signed. And I lost that shit less than 2 weeks. And I had hired 6 people locally in Colorado specifically for that shit. And I had to tell these motherfuckers that not only that these trucks that I just bought that I can't use at this location, but you all don't have a job anymore. Because of one dude.
And this guy had to lay off 50 people.
Shit, I had to lay off 6 and I felt bad.
Liberation Day.
God damn, 50 people and a third of your yearly income?
A third. Over 30% of your income. Over 30%. You know what kind of hits those are?
And this has been in your family, what, since the 1930s? Almost 100 years.
Almost 100 years. You know, those are the kind of numbers where you may have to close your doors.
Yeah, wasn't the gays, wasn't the Mexicans, transgenders,
all of that bullshit. Oh, you know, we stopped them at the border. All of that bullshit. None of that was relevant.
Man,
none of it.
Oh my God. Oof.
None of it was relevant. None of it.
And he's talking about sitting at an actual sawmill that ain't running, and he's hearing, well, I wouldn't say crickets, but birds chirping. When
He's hearing birds
loud
chirping.
as hell.
And yeah, at night he's hearing crickets. So that is actually what's going on there, and that's what this guy's doing, hollowing out. He just hollowed out this guy's business, and this is the coup de grace of this. Those clients, if you will, client countries that you have that you've lost, you're not getting them back.
No, dude,
they're not coming back.
Yeah, once you establish the new
Canada and other places, it's over with, dude. You ain't getting that shit back. You're not.
And this was a small town too.
Small town.
Jobs in a
50
small
people.
50. That is very significant, and that's a hit on that. And that's a hit on that local economy. That's a sizable hit on that local economy. So
I mean, think about those people. A lot of those people probably had mortgages, probably had car payments. Probably had a lot of shit. 1930, I could guarantee you there's people who've been there 17, 18 years, and they got rid of those people.
And you have to look at, you know, shopping in these various areas. So the local markets and so forth that people go and buy and shop from. I mean, that's affecting them and so forth. None of this is good. You can't look at any of this and give it a passing grade.
And that's one meal. One plant, because most of these people had overseas customers. Like right now, I'm on my way to San Saba, Texas, and you're supposed to see all type of containers along I-10 and I-20 from Florida, which is the nearest, port city, other than the Louisiana shit. Dude, I see no containers on the road. I seen a couple parked at truck stops when I went. None of this stuff was on the road. Like, bro, this stuff is broken for the ever. Those people that found new companies and countries to actually deal with. Those people who used to be in that industry are gone. A lot of those people that lost their trucks by now, they can't even go. Like, it's hard to be like, okay, I'm in the container field and I deal with this one or two customers for a couple 100,000 to a couple $1 million a year, and now that company's gone. I got 17 truck payments to actually make, and none of these
Mm.
people are working. Now I got to go buy trailers, and who am I going to hire to put all these trucks on the road? Now with everybody flooding into the dry van market, you drive the prices way down for the dry van market because of all these people that used to be in the container shit. And it's like these people lost their shit and they lost it forever. They're not coming back to that.
No. Those clients are not coming back, man.
Man.
That is an irreparable hit, and that's what these people are looking at, and they understand that. But there's a bigger piece, MOT, that you're going to get to in this.
Oh yeah.
In this video. Continue.
All right, man. Let's keep going, man.
This is a story about what's going on in a lot of rural America right now.
Since April, Trump's tariffs have shocked supply chains and raised prices of both imported and domestic goods. While President Trump has promised a manufacturing renaissance, between April and August, the U.S. actually lost 42,000 manufacturing jobs.
They are the first generation in 5 to have to close something down in this lumber industry. Wilson's a man in his 60s. He's a storyteller, but he's also, a proud man. And he had tears in his eyes as he was describing this.
In the old days, you would hear the chipper, we'd have the air compressors going, you'd have the roar of the fans of the kills that ran 24/7, and you'd come in here and you'd hear all that throaty noise or that hum and roar. And now it's kind of depressing because you can get out of your car and shut the door and then you hear the wind blow.
I'm David Gura, and this is The Big Take from Bloomberg News. Today on the show, we head to North Carolina to understand how President Trump's trade war played a role in the closure of a family-run sawmill, and how his policies are affecting one of the oldest industries in America. The Jones family has been in the lumber business in North Carolina going back nearly 150 years.
I've heard my mom tell stories about when I was born. They brought me home from the hospital and they went and knocked on the door, and 4 big old sawmill guys out here, dirty and everything like that. That's what they had on. Miss Margaret, we want to come see the little boss man.
Wilson Jones's memories of growing up are full of sawdust, childhood games, and wood chippings.
We'd come out here and we'd sweep, or we'd throw sawdust in the boiler, or we'd play in the Shaven's house.
When we were little, he's got a scar on one of his cheeks. He's older. He used to beat up on me, so I stabbed him with a pitchfork.
And I can go out there and show you where he did it, too.
The U.S. lumber industry, as we know it today, started when settlers in America were still under British rule. Back in the early 1700s, North Carolina alone was producing over 50,000 British pounds worth of lumber annually. That's equivalent to about 11 million U.S. dollars a year today. North Carolina became the primary source of naval stores, the material used to build and maintain British ships. After the U.S. won its independence and expanded farther west, the country's forests would fuel the industry for centuries.
If they hadn't found wood here, there wouldn't have been an America. In the building of America, wood played a mighty part.
But consumption of lumber in the U.S. peaked in the late 1980s, and it's been dipping ever since. That's led to a steady decline in the number of U.S. sawmills, many of which are small family-owned operations. And American consumer tastes have shifted toward cheaper furniture made from particle board, MDF, or laminate, commonly used by companies like IKEA and Amazon.
My wife and I have a young couple that we've talked to. They were so happy that they got a new sofa for the new house from Amazon for $400. But I understand, that people like IKEA, which is made, with particle board and put together compared to, a custom-built cabinet or something like that. I don't have a problem with changing consumer taste. I don't have a problem that there's a different technology that is better than what we have or that makes us obsolete. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the government policy making us obsolete.
Even before Trump's tariffs were on the scene, U.S. hardwood lumber was still in a tough spot. Mackey's Ferry Mill, which the Jones family bought in the 1980s, initially served North Carolina's furniture industry. But when that industry started facing competition from China and going offshore in the 1990s, their market changed. And by the early 2000s, they were sending most of their lumber overseas. By 2008, as the financial crisis hit the housing industry and the main market for their softwood mill, the hardwood operation was keeping the family business afloat by selling most of its output to China.
These are narrow margin businesses. There is not a huge premium on this wood. And in fact, one of the ironies of the global economy is that Wilson Jones will tell you it costs more to ship a load of lumber to the port in Norfolk than it does to ship it from Norfolk to a port in China.
For a while, that approach was working. According to Wilson, the Mackey's Ferry Mill was regularly shipping millions of dollars in hardwood to their biggest customers in China and Vietnam. The Joneses had moved with the times. By 2017, China became the largest single market for exported lumber from the U.S., followed by Mexico and Canada. And when the U.S. imposed an escalating series of tariffs on China in 2018 during Trump's first term, the Joneses managed to weather the fallout, even as China retaliated.
We just kind of took it with our lumps and said, all right, you know what? I'll tell you what, we bore half of it, of the tariff, and then our customer, they bore half of it. And that was kind of an industry-wide thing.
But Trump's second-term tariffs were even more aggressive. On April 2nd, the president announced a higher 34% tariff on Chinese imports. China, along with several other U.S. trading partners, retaliated again. It would kick off a rapidly escalating trade war that sent shockwaves through global markets.
I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China.
For American hardwood, the reciprocal tariffs got as high as 125%.
What took you over the edge here? What caused you to shut this down?
Honestly, the market conditions in relation to the retaliatory tariffs that we have in China, they put the final nails in the coffin. But there are other inherent issues. There's a raw material issue. I didn't do a good enough job getting some of our people to pivot. And then there are real capital issues with being able to modernize and being able to modernize efficiently.
But the final nail in the coffin
was when we couldn't sell the lumber.
When President Trump imposed tariffs back in April, wood from Mackey's Ferry worth some $500,000 was on its way to China as part of a regular shipment. Within days, that shipment was facing tariffs worth more than the wood itself.
If President Trump pulled up here today and you walked him into the sawmill, what would you tell him?
Well, I'd like to say, what the heck? Actually, I'd like to say about 9 different expletives. But, President Trump, gee, I understand what you're trying to do, but you're on a fool's mission. And you're not helping out a few. You're hurting a lot. If you put all these little communities together from Maine over to Michigan down to Mississippi and Alabama, it's having the same effect on these small little communities. From the guy that's just stacking lumber to the guy that's sawing, don't even care about the guy that's the mill owner. What about those guys?
The White House did not respond to a request for comment. As the brothers criticized Trump's trade policies, Sean asked them if they voted for him and for those trade policies to begin with.
I voted for Trump because there wasn't an alternative. I mean, at all.
Did you vote for him all the way back to 2016?
I voted for Trump all 3 times.
Did you?
Yep, I did.
Listen, just
but I
listen to this.
literally was in the voting booth.
Yeah.
Listen to this shit.
No. Wait.
Let's take that back a little bit, because you after he described how he was hurt, let's hear it one more time.
I was sawing. Don't even care about the guy that's the mill owner. What about those guys?
The White House did not respond to a request for comment. As the brothers criticized Trump's trade policies, Sean asked them if they voted for him and for those trade policies to begin with.
I voted for Trump because there wasn't an alternative. I mean, at all.
Did you vote for him all the way back to 2016?
I voted for Trump all 3 times.
Did you?
Yep, I did. But I literally was in the voting booth.
Yeah.
And I wrapped my knuckles, and the Trump one hurt more, and that was the one that I voted for. Because it was so disgusting. And I hate to say that, but that's literally how I made that choice.
Okay, so you voted for the man. You both voted for the man. The man's policies have contributed to you going out of business. Do you have any regrets about voting for the man?
After the break, how the closure of Mackey's Ferry sawmill could impact the area's economy, and how Wilson and Stephen feel about President Trump and his policies today.
No choice. No choice but to vote for him all 3
years,
times.
Mackey's Ferry sawmill in North Carolina relied on exporting its goods to China and Vietnam after a dip in domestic demand for its high-quality hardwood. But President Trump's trade war with China dealt a blow that the mill's owners say they couldn't come back from. As part of the administration's efforts to bolster some industries affected by tariffs, the U.S. has prioritized bailouts for agriculture and soybeans over assistance for other industries, like lumber.
Tremendous amounts of the soybeans and other farm products are going to be purchased immediately, starting immediately.
Wilson Jones says some of the farmers who might benefit from that are relatives, but that across the board, from soybeans to lumber, they want something more.
You hear Main Street, and you're talking about Main Street in Columbus, Ohio. You're not talking about Main Street in Roper, North Carolina. I can say my relatives that are in farming, they don't want to bail out. And I would be willing to bet my industry colleagues in the hardwood lumber industry, they don't want to bail out. They want access to their markets. And that door has been shut.
Well, I'm Kelly Chesson. I'm the Economic and Strategic Development Director for Washington County.
In the county where Mackey's Ferry is located, the damage from the mill's closure has already been done.
It is a big blow, especially now, after COVID. Everybody kind of was on stall during COVID, but then just to see one of your longest standing businesses close its doors, and 50 guys are men and women are going to lose their jobs. Yeah, that is a blow.
Kelly says back in the mid-2000s, the region lost around 200 jobs when Canadian paper company Domtar merged with Weyerhaeuser, the owner of a local pulp mill. And a mill closure like this is another hit. Mackey's Ferry was one of the largest private employers in the county. Kelly doesn't know what this will cost the local economy yet in lost business taxes.
It's not as a significant blow as the Weyerhaeuser blow was for us, but it's still one of those ones that's going to be felt in the community. So that was 20 years ago. We still haven't recovered from that. People want stability. And then when you have major companies like Mackey's, who's been here for over 100 years, close, what does that say to the business viability here in Washington County? And I know we don't want that to be our message, but it's just one of those things where all of these rural and small communities are facing some of these same things.
The Supreme Court heard arguments earlier this month on the legality of the tariffs. Lower courts have ruled that they're illegal, and Sean says it's still unclear what restitution would take place if the Supreme Court agrees.
Not all of that economic damage, if you talk to economists, people in business, small business people, is going to be fixed immediately. There is no easy solution to repair that. But for the Jones brothers, this is kind of too late. The story of tariffs is often a story of unintended consequences. Donald Trump did not intend to cause the shutdown of a sawmill in North Carolina when he imposed these tariffs on China. He was trying to rebalance an economic relationship. In his mind, these tariffs are going to help bring back manufacturing jobs. But the story of tariffs through history has always been that they lead to retaliation. And
They've always been retaliatory.
Bro, listen, dude, there was at the Chicago Economic Forum. The dude told him exactly what was going to happen if he did the tariffs, how much money it was going to take out of the economy. And you know what that dude did? Yada yada yada. I'm still going to do it anyway. That's what happened.
And we were attacked for not knowing about tariffs. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, these idiots. Like I said, historically, tariffs on countries have been retaliatory. And then the Boston Tea Party, which helped to bring about this country. What was that about? So look, a lot of people sit here and just, they ask for this. Well, I still voted for them. We didn't have any choice. You didn't have a choice? Anyway.
Yeah, man, just give me that fucking sawmill, man. Just close this shit up, bro.
Man,
just close this sawmill, bro.
No, he literally said they had $500,000 worth of lumber on the way to China. When those tariffs hit, the tariffs were worth more than
it was worth more than the product. Yeah. It was over. You were
They
done.
probably had to take the shit off the containers and take it back to the actual shed because it wasn't worth shit.
That's what they had to do.
It wasn't even worth putting on the boat.
They had to repack that shit and put it back into the warehouse. They had to bring it back to the warehouse, man.
Insane.
They didn't bring it back. But that's what these people voted for. They voted for this, and they still will vote for that. Bring them up again. They still will do that. I'm saying, man.
And they're gonna turn around and blame some other group of people for what happened.
Well, now you
people who are responsible.
Blame the immigrants.
Yeah.
Blame them.
LGBT, DEI, anybody but the orange man, right?
Do that. Go ahead.
Blame
the immigrants.
All right, well, let's get these couple minutes over with. But at the end of the day, this is what happened.
Unintended consequences.
Do you have any regrets about voting for the man?
There are some things I regret about voting for President Trump. Yes, 100%. Trade policy is one of them, even though that I wish he could have moderated his tone. Well, I understand you have to do one thing to get elected and then something else, but I wish it hadn't have turned out that way. That being said, given the two people running, regardless of what they said on the campaign trail, I would have voted for President Trump again.
There it is.
My man.
There
ding,
it is.
Ding, ding, regardless of what happened.
There it is.
Man, let's go back. Hear it again.
Well, I understand you have to do one thing to get elected and then something else, but I wish it hadn't have turned out that way. That being said, given the two people running, regardless of what they said on the campaign trail, I would have voted for President Trump again.
I don't necessarily have regrets. I mean, it came out that that's what he was going to fight for. And knowingly, that would affect us probably because the only place to really ship a volume of lumber was either Vietnam or China. And, so it's going to affect us. But I don't, outside of not voting, I don't think I had a choice to vote any other direction. I don't like the way we're going about immigration strategy, if you will. But something
immigration.
Had to be done to control our borders.
Look at
that's being accomplished now. Having ICE and everything else. I get tired. I don't even watch the news anymore, just because it's the same thing over and over again. Kind of like insanity.
The last board at Mackey's Ferry Sawmill came off the production line on September 29th. Wilson and Stephen laid off 50 people, some of whom had worked for the mill for decades.
Is this the last of it in here?
This is kind of the last of it, packaged up and piled up. There'll be some we'll be able to sell here and there, but it's just, we're trying to get the biggest chunks out of it right now.
Sean and Rachel visited about a month later as the process of closing down was nearly complete. And amidst cobwebs and the simple electric hum of the lights, Wilson showed them what's left of Mackey's Ferry.
You said you hadn't been here in a few weeks.
Yeah. There's not really a lot that I can do. I learned, it took a while, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But
obviously,
I learned that, like, here, these guys, instead of me telling them take a step forward, step right, step left, go backwards, just say, okay, look, you know how to do your job, and walk away.
You're letting them do their thing.
Yeah, let them do their thing.
The Jones brothers offered jobs to Mackey's Ferry workers at the other mill, J.W. Jones Lumber, about an hour away. Only 10 out of the original 50 took them up on it.
I read about economics. Economics is data, it's aggregate data. And we often lose sight of the fact that economics is people. An economy is its people. It's not its economists. Wilson Jones is one of those people.
And then the other thing is you're just going to stand around, make yourself miserable, pull your head out of your rear, and try to, make a difference where you can make a difference. Quit feeling sorry for yourself.
My God, my Lord.
That was, it's hard to see someone going through that and feeling that burden. It's the only way you can describe that, is that this is personal for Wilson Jones.
This is The Big Take from Bloomberg News. I'm David Gura. The show is hosted by me, Juan Ha, and Sarah Holder. Show is made by Aaron Edwards.
Woo!
Man. Oh,
man. He said I had no other choice.
No other choice.
No
but to
other
go out of business.
Oh,
and he set it up so nicely. Regardless of what happened, I felt like I had no other choice. I had to go out of business. What's going on, man? I thought conservatives took responsibility for their actions and shit, man. Like, what happened here, man?
Yeah, and I love how only 10 people took up the offer, because they were probably like, man, we're not going to work for this guy. He'll get the other mill shut down if we're not careful.
They were like, am I really about to drive an hour in 2 months so that way we can be going through the shit again? Like, nah, man, cut the check, bro.
We guys said, man, cut the check, man. I'm going to fast food now.
Yeah,
and listen, that's where these guys are at, man.
And they take that anger
and
they go after liberals with the shit when they know full well that none of these culture warrior issues. And the dude was like swinging at like the border when you live in fucking North Carolina.
MOT, he was still arguing the culture war.
Still arguing the culture war
right there.
Unbelievable.
Dude, if you have to be informed about the immigration problem from the news, like, you don't live on ground zero, like you live nowhere near a border. Like, people who live in Texas on the border, they don't have to turn on the news to know about what's going on. Like, they see it in their town, or if you're getting large influx of migrants, like, you don't have to get on the news and listen to the culture war, race baiting that comes out of there, especially Fox News on the border.
Okay, now go work for your culture war. Y'all just lost your jobs to what? Now go live off of that culture war. You bring it.
You lost a mill that has been operating your family for almost 100 years.
Almost
150 years.
Almost two centuries. Think about that.
Over the fucking culture war.
The culture war. And he said they didn't have a choice but to go out of business. Think about that. Like I said,
go out of business, then vote for the black woman. No problem. No problem. No problem.
dying of whiteness,
Yep.
a white man said, I'd rather die than support the ACA because, are you ready for this? Not just blacks, of whom we hate more than life itself, and immigrants and others. I'm not kicking in
Welfare
there
queens.
to pay for them the welfare.
Welfare
When
queens.
they're the welfare queens, we know that now. They're the welfare queens and kings. But this is how this individual said, I would rather die, and he died.
A couple months later.
And he
Bro,
died.
you can't fix this stuff. At the end of the
That's
day,
why I'm
the
saying,
dude said, given the choices that was there, and the choices were no tariffs that affected my business or tariffs that was going to affect my business. I voted for him all 3 times.
and I
And given
didn't have
everything that was said, and I
an
know they said what
MOT.
they said on the campaign trail, I'll vote for him again. Okay, wrap it
MOT.
up. Wrap it
He
up. We're done here.
didn't have a choice. He
Wrap
said
it
he
up.
didn't have a choice.
We're fucking done here.
We're done here. I'm going out of business. That's what they chose. That's what you're dealing with. I just keeping things a buck here. Just understand what you're dealing with. Anyway.
End of the day, you have to understand that you are not dealing with people that you are going to actually be rational with. These people have already decided that they're going to go out of business. They rather go out of business, they rather die than admit that they were wrong, and also to admit they need to change some things, or even question or second guess some things. They
No,
rather
no,
go out of
no.
business. They rather die.
This is costing them trillions of dollars. It's costing them their lives. And this is if this is how you got to go out, then you got to go out. This is how you going out, then go out. This is how you going out, then go out. Man. Going out. Man. That's where you're at with this. You guys heard it.
I don't know how you rationalize such idiocy. I don't know how you do it.
That's
I don't know
crazy.
how you do it. This was unprompted. Nobody put a gun to this person's head. They just went out here and they just said it, just like that. That they're not trying to understand anything. They're not trying to do any type of introspection. They're not trying to do anything. The only thing they're trying to do is lose on purpose. Because losing on purpose is way better than trying to do business in the United States. They'd rather lose everything. They'd rather lose it all.
Voted for
Sorry,
this
man.
guy 3 times, and I'm sure
And
can't tell you
and then he
any
said he
way.
was going to do it again. Then he
No,
said he
he's
would do it
no.
again.
He said, listen. He said that's the hill I'm dying on. You have to understand all of what this individual said. That hill you saw me die on, that you saw me get my legs cut off on, I'm dying on that hill. That's what he said. Knowing what knowing that there are options, but this is how he's going out. This is how he's going out.
I don't know what else to say, man.
Oh, you know
This show
something?
was
You know
okay.
something? This is something. I'm sorry. I'll bring this up. I remember as a kid, and I was watching. I think it was the Jeffersons, and there was this one white guy who was on the show, a racist, who had some kind of heart attack or whatever, and George Jefferson helped to give this guy mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and brought him back and helped to bring him back. And then he's like, well, the kid was like, well, Pa, look at him. You're so racist, but this black man helped to save you. He helped to bring you back to life. He helped to save you, in your attack. He gave you mouth to mouth. He looked at the black guy. He looked at his son and said, son, you should have just let me die. And the whole crowd and the crowd was like, ooh. The crowd was like, but that was one of the most honest and hardcore true statements that I ever heard on a television program. Because it was 100% true. It was true then. And it's absolutely true to this very day.
End of the day, man. Like I said, when T. Riddler brought up that NAFTA shit, man, like, hey, man, you got to look at that NAFTA vote, man. Don't look at who's president. Look at the NAFTA vote. The
There you
vote.
go. There you
NAFTA
go.
vote. Sent it to him. I can guarantee you didn't know, complain about NAFTA. That's the Republican Party. That was the Republican Party plan. Just because Bill Clinton didn't veto it does not mean that it was a Republican Party plan. It was. They are the low wage party. Yes, they are the low wage party. They do not want to increase minimum wage. And guess what? They create the situation to bring all these immigrants over here and then want to criminalize the immigrants for being here. Shocker. Run the culture war on them to bring these people over here to take your jobs and then criminalize those people and then your jobs leave anyway. At the
Job,
end of the day, there's nothing you can do with these people.
job leave anyway, and you lost your clients. You've lost your international clients.
Yeah, lost them forever.
Forever. They ain't come back. You ain't enticing them back. They've got a whole new deal going on. That's over. You're finished.
And you really think that somebody would go back to doing business with you after your president just screwed them over? Or
He just
attempt to put them out of business or shut down their supply line?
he
Hell yeah, they're gonna find some other alternative and
he
not
li-
deal with you.
he literally pissed on you, and you're gonna go back there. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. That's not how business is done. It's not how things are done. Anyway,
Well, that is where we are at, man. As you can see, the PhDs in BGS Itmore have taken down all of their content. I see that as a win because they didn't want to be responsible for the things that they were saying over the past year. I think most of these idiots in this actual manosphere is here to try to make money off of these problems. They're not trying to fix any of these issues.
not at
All
all.
monetization should be removed from this actual concept because it's predatory. They are looking for lost, broken, and confused men to give them fake solutions to real problems
They
with
don't
the
even give.
intent on keeping this stuff going for another generation. And there is
Yeah,
no real reason for it.
yeah, I think this is kind of showing that this Trump administration, it basically ended between this like these tariffs and really this Epstein and this shutdown fight that Democrats could have won if they would have held out longer. In my opinion, I think you're starting to see the end of this administration already. What 9, 10 months in?
Oh
I
no,
mean,
they're gonna have the same
Like
shutdown fight a year from now, right before the election. Oh, this shit ain't over.
no. I mean, as far as you're seeing that this guy is the support on the economy is at a record low. Like I said, you got Republicans who are behind the scenes getting ready to jump ship. You got people like
They voting on this
MTG,
Epstein stuff, man.
yeah,
They voting on
who
and,
are
this Epstein
already
stuff.
jumping ship. Like this has been a disaster, and now you got these people who are running around talking about Trump. They're both the same. They're trying to hide content and cover their tracks.
trying to cover their tracks, and knowing that these guys got a DEI administration up in there, bunch of incompetence, folks who should never have been anywhere close to any kind of White House, including the president himself. And you're going to solve these problems, and this is who these people ran behind and talked all kind of crap about last year, and buck danced, you know, buck danced and coon smiling and coon dancing behind this. I mean, think about it. Yeah, I guess if I was one of those guys, I'd be trying to hide some of that stuff myself. I guess I would be too.
Yeah, we're gonna play this Megan Kelly clip, man, which is the reason why you would get removed from your job. But if you are a right winger, you can nearly say whatever you want to. It is nuts. Okay, so let's get this up here because you need to understand how crazy of a statement that this is. And look, we know that these people work for people in positions of power. The media is not and has never been liberal. May have been factual, but not liberal. Let's get this up here.
but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think
It
there is a
matters,
difference.
yeah.
There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just whatever. It's sick. Every time we start talking about Epstein, it makes your skin crawl. You right? The whole thing is just disgusting.
Totally.
What in the hell?
Listen to these belly crawls. This is unfucking real. This is unreal.
You would get kicked off of mainstream television for even suggesting that.
This is
fire
belly
cause.
These are belly crawlers. This is unbelievable, and these are women.
Now remember why the comedian got kicked off of TV for this so-called Charlie Kirk joke, right? And then you listen to something like that, and it'd be like, dude, conservatives can say and do whatever they want on TV and to get total backing, bro. Total backing. It doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense to the whatsoever that a person, a grown up, would come on TV and say something like that. And still exist and survive beyond that.
And what's going on here?
Man,
this is belly crawling at its lowest. I can't believe that I'm hearing this. I can't believe it.
Hey, and here's the thing. The stuff that Megyn Kelly is talking about is something that BGS routinely talked about. It sounds just as fucking creepy every single time with lowering the actual age of consent. There's a bunch of these lowering the age of consent people in this actual space who want to lower the age of consent, and they want to pretend like they're making this less than, you know, grapist comment whenever they say something like that. And it's like, you know what? If you actually think some stuff like this, and if you're crazy enough to say it out loud, what are the chances that you are engaging in this type of behavior, regardless of how legal or illegal that it is, man?
These people are actually trying to put a cover on this shit.
Megyn Kelly tried to use some anonymous source that she was protecting to make these crazy comments.
Trying to put a cover on this shit, man. Trying to put a condom on this shit. Unfucking.
No advertiser just said, out of here. None of them said that. None of them. None of them.
This is. I've never heard anything like this before. I've been
especially
around,
from a grown ass woman. Like
I've been around a long time. I've been around a long time. I've not heard this. Open air media like this. I have not heard it. Open air media like this. No.
Yeah, with that said, man, I wish these PhDs all the best, you know, in bringing their content back up once this live stream is over with. You know how it is. They're too embarrassed for, you know, to be seen around BGS at this point. But they all got the message to take the content down. But save the best for last. So let's go with the last person here in this PhD cadre, because this person's going to say a bunch of crazy stuff, and we need to talk about it. So hold on a second. All right. So, Dr. Dunbar. All right. The last time I had a live stream about doing things about PhDs, Dr. Dunbar seems to want to do these podcasts on like legitimate people to bring around the space before I do these actual live streams on the history of these actual PhDs. And this is um, no different. Like, there is no real reason to re-anneal the conversation around broken men, right? Because again, he got the message like everybody else that he took all this content down too. Don't believe me? Here we go. So the person calls themselves a PhD. The first thing you ask them is, what state do you live in? And what policy proposals have you made in your actual state to actually clean up things? Because there are problems, as you can see. They're all pieces of shit, every single one of them, because they took all their content down. So I'm gonna show you, like Dr. Dunbar here, who routinely goes live, who was talking about the will of the people and all this shit whenever the mm, 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 took it all down, all of it. There's plenty of conversations he had about the will of the people and all that kind of other stuff, but he took all that content down. Now, people know that he's done more than 4 videos from November of last year till now, right? So all the PhDs took down their content because they knew I was doing a fucking live stream, right? So they all tried to sanitize their actual content, correct? There's no real reason for that. Why would you need to take down your content unless you're embarrassed about what you was actually talking about in that time period? You know?
Yeah, trying to sanitize their content. Anyway, go ahead, Moti. This is just.
And okay, so let's look at this. Because this is another thing that I just do not understand. True Feminine Power by Kendra D. That Kendra D from the Angry Man group. She's going to talk about the power of femininity. The most unfeminine woman that has ever graced this fucking space. It's wrote a book on black feminine. Unfucking believable that Dr. Dunbar would even interview this person. Dr. Dunbar also interviewed Rom fucking Wills about his books and shit, right? But none of that stuff seems to be on his channel because apparently it didn't happen. And then this is black man's fault, right? And it's BGS's fault overall for this, but it's still black man's fault overall into supporting these actual people. I tell you right now, do a content audit on these people before you try to help them. If they're heavily invested into the relationship content or the trolling black women content, don't bother fucking helping these people. Don't bother helping them being productive. It's pretty okay for them to not attract women. They're already at their final form, which is to be complaining about shit that they're not even part of. When a man come up to you and he tells you about how he don't feel like he's well represented in society and he doesn't have a fucking job or a career, he's in his final form of where he actually should be. There's no real reason to reassociate the conversation around these broken personnel. No real reason for it at all. Even the video he did today, he took down. The video he did today, a little bit earlier, he took that video down too. when he was talking to this other fucking PhD about men, college, and the black community. Here's the thing about college and the black community. If you go to school for an actual subject that you cannot get a job in afterwards, you've wasted your fucking time. And that's not a societal wide fucking issue. That's a personal fucking problem. Very personal problem, right? Broken men don't need any type of focus in society. Not any. Oh, it's right here in the lives. But I just want to play like the first couple seconds so that way you can hear how fucking crazy this shit is. So I'm going to play like the first couple minutes.
But as an adult,
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Once again, I have an honored guest, and we're going to talk about some interesting things today. Let me make sure this is broadcasting to my YouTube channel. And if you are watching from Dr. L's channel, hello and welcome. Okay, there's Carl Anthony Towns and a commercial there. Let me get rid of that. All right. So I have Dr. L backstage. We were just chatting, and this is broadcasting on my platform and now his. So I'm not going to waste time. That is the most valuable resource. And I'm going to play my my intro. For those of you who don't know, I interviewed a gentleman named Curtis Schoon about a year or so ago. And that means spending time with family and having, you know, part of my brand is writing now, interviewing people. And I thought it would be cool just to highlight some books that are in my library that and I think we're going to touch upon a bit.
And highlight some books, Nico.
Of all of this. So these are books that I've read recently. I'm going to sprint through these that I think this conversation is going to touch every part of these books. This is Just a Kid from Arbor Hill by Tyrell Hughes. His wheelhouse is overcoming adversities. Even when you don't have the adversities of life, when coming from households where you don't have everything that you need. Crimson Cure, Reclaiming the Black Feminine. Okay, I'm looking to interview her as well. This talks about specifically what's happening with Black women and how to salvage the young sisters, the young Black women. Beyond Death in Jail, I just had Dr. Ronald Neal here about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Dr. Kiasan Johnson, Solutions for Anti-Black Misandry, Flat Blackness and Black Male Death. I've had Dr. Johnson here.
Okay. There's no such thing as flat blackness. Your inability to get a job in society doesn't mean that there's flat blackness. Okay? If you're in the South and there's no economic opportunities, you cannot walk around with the excuse of flat blackness. You need to move your ass to another fucking area like everybody else in society. Okay? There is no real reason for somebody from California to give people the excuse of flat blackness. That's a very new term. Right? Go.
Yeah. There is no excuse. There just isn't.
There wasn't even flat blackness during like motherfucking Jim Crow when people were violently removed from society and there was no excuse for failure.
And you had a lot of people, who moved from the South and these places, and they moved and migrated north and other places where they thought there were better opportunities. People broke camp. People left on out of there. People stepped off. Big migrations, MOT. Big migrations.
And here's the thing, AGS 316, they desperately wanted you not to deal with reality and to hang out with them online. Once you start dealing with the reality, you don't fucking need the manosphere. You don't need the fucking red pill. You don't need none of that shit. Once you start getting around real, actual men who actually want to accomplish shit, dude, all this victimhood bullshit goes out the window. You don't need to be doing the victimhood shit. You just don't need to. Dude, there are plenty of people out here who are doing things. They're not looking for Kendra D to try to save the fucking young ass women. There were not any young women in this space to begin with. So what young women are she trying to fucking save when she never liked working class black men? Ever. She was always around the street motherfuckers and the hood dudes. Always. She could never be had herself being seen around working class black people, not associated with this street shit. But that's what I'm saying when you have these unqualified motherfuckers here who's trying to save people, right? Unbelievable. Let's see what else he has to say.
Unreal.
Here on my channel, I want to have him back. But going more general, years ago, I read No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. Dr. L talks a lot about being your best self and those kinds of things. Men without work. Okay, there's a concern now that men are falling out of the workplace.
There ain't men that's falling out the fucking workplace. That ain't the fucking case. Okay? There is no savior for men without work except for more fucking work. You fall out of the work environment if it is not for health reasons or handicap reasons. Dude, if you just a dude who just don't want to fucking get out there and work, there is nobody that's gonna fucking save you. Not a single soul on this planet.
That is a fact.
And bringing and actually pretending like making these class of men a victim of society for them to and live off of is outrageously abnormal. There is no need to create a victimhood class of men for these people to grift off of. All right, you don't know what you're doing. You need to go figure out how to get that shit done. If you hang out with a bunch of grifters and con artists online, there's really nothing else you could be able to do.
MOT, I got a 16-year-old grandson, just got him a car. He's going to school and driving back and forth to work. 16 because he wants a job. He's working.
Whoa. Isn't the gynocracy holding him back, Nagone?
Gynocracy holding him back.
Oh man, isn't fucking anti-black misandry stopping him from taking action?
This is a fucking
What are you talking about?
16-year-old kid. My grand. Going to college next year. That's what he's doing.
What if somebody came to you in your community and started talking to you about men out of work and how to get rid of anti-black misandry? What would you do to that?
MOT, man, listen, this shit that's being talked now is so much of it is just madness. People who had gotten their act together here in the Manosphere, who were here years before, have stepped off.
And they disconnect and leave. They fucking go.
They stepped off. Who actually got their shit together and did the right things. They stepped off. There's nothing for them here.
They didn't need to go to a Manosphere meetup. They didn't need to do any of that shit. They just got their shit together and left. Man, I could pull up like 20 different apology letters from people after they got their shit together and knowing that they needed to stay away from this shit and how happy they was once they started fucking around with shit in real life. Oh, MOT, all the shit you said was true. Oh man, there ain't no way I can come back and listen to these guys.
If these guys want to do Manosphere meetups and all that, fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
go right ahead.
You won't hear me say anything about that. All right? But get something out of it. Hopefully you guys move forward. Because guys who are really about that life, getting their lives together and doing the right thing. They're doing that. They're doing their thing. They're not sitting around pining about a gunocracy. They're not doing it, man. They're not doing it.
Unreal. And a lot of people think that this criticism is about trying to take people from the lost dumb nigga section and bringing them over to my channel. That's not what this shit's about. This shit is about pointing out grown ass men who definitely know damn well better of what they're doing, like hiding their fucking content, like fucking cowards, right? Because they don't want to be responsible for the simple fact that they wanted this dude to be elected or outright supported him. And they don't want to be on the record for that shit. Not at this point.
Nope. But when you start bringing it up, they'll deny and say all different types of things. That's not me. No, that's not my man's. Nah, that's not. No, I'm a third party guy and all that kind of craziness. They'll be up in there talking that bullshit.
Or else, I'm a cultural conservative.
A cultural conservative. No such thing even
Remember that
exists.
bullshit was going around for a long time, man?
Yeah, we kicked the bone out the butt of that that crap.
Man.
But they were running it. But they certainly were running that madness. And they'll get back to it if they can.
Hey man, I'm telling you right now, this Manosphere, this red pill shit is predatory. They are looking for lost, broken men and keep re-engaging their red pill rage. They are not trying to push these dudes toward no solution, none to the whatsoever. They've never tried to push these dudes toward any type of solution.
You're looking at productive young men, which starts when kids are teenagers and everything else like that. And they're going to work, they're going to school, getting grades, looking to go to college and so forth, working, making. This is what these kids are doing, man. This is where they're at. You got to meet them where they're at. This is where they're at. These guys sitting around. Oh, I can't make it because the gunocracy's got me down. You MOT.
What's going on, man?
Come on, man. Come on, MOT. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, so once you fall for the gynocracy shit and talking about men and because here's the thing. Let's look at the title of the video. Because the title of the video says a lot more here. Okay. A discussion regarding college degrees and where the black community is going. Okay. When somebody starts talking about the black community, you are being grifted. You are being grifted. I'm sorry. What you do as a singular person going to school is not going to affect the black community at all. Period. So to try to get you to look at yourself through the eyes of most of these people in this so-called black community that has never done shit for themselves, and you have to think about these motherfuckers before you take a step, is some shit that is not part of the program. You should never be thinking about the black community whenever you're trying to accomplish anything in life.
Yeah. It's what it is, brother.
Yeah, what's going on, Mackie? At the end of the day, it is your responsibility to get the fuck out of the situation. If you cannot dodge these black grifters and these actual hangout motherfuckers online, you already lost, dude. Like, there's no use even fucking trying. There's no need to try to use broken women to actually have a conversation about realistic things in society. Like, you don't need to do no stupid ass shit like that. You can just go straight to the actual stuff and get things done, man. You don't need to be stuck here. And I keep telling people, had Kevin Samuels would have lived, he would have dusted off more and more of these women for these men to get with these exact women to create the same problems that we have right now or worse.
Damn.
And that's what desperately these people wanted. These so-called happy individuals. They wanted to keep recreating these same problems. For what reason, I have no idea. But it wasn't for anybody's benefit. And these people didn't have parents that was pieces of shit like that either. But they want to create kids that are worse off than they are. That's the sickening part of this shit.
Damn.
So with that said, man, these PhDs are pieces of shit. They didn't say shit about fucking BGS. They didn't say shit about Ron Wills. They didn't say shit about Alan Roger Curry. They just came here to make money off of these broken fucking men like everybody else. Everybody came here to set up shop and to get paid off of these lost people from the so-called gynocracy, which is fucking god awful and should never be monetized and should be shut down immediately and should be treated like the racketeering that it clearly fucking is. None of these people are medical doctors. None of these people are are in the psychological field. And I can guarantee you, if you meet actual professionals who care about your future, they're not going to steer you into these people. And they're definitely not going to send you to some self-taught chemist, master teacher for the shit either. They're never going to fucking do that. Right? So with that said, go on, any last things before we get up out of here?
Thanks for inviting me up, MOT. Appreciate it.
That's right. I made you motherfuckers bow down and clean up your fucking algorithm. Don't ever fucking forget that. So, with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming through on the Man of Tomorrow. Please get your shit together and leave this Manosphere shit the fuck alone. Have a nice day.